Welcome back, viewers. In this slide, you can see the polymerase chain reaction or PCR simply used. This is a technique which can help us. Oh, just a minute, please. Here we go. Yeah, this is a technique which can help us to convert small number of DNA to a million of copies, and then we can see those results on the gel. Uh, First, DNA is heated to the 90 to 100 degrees Celsius, and these strands they get separated. So double strand becomes a single strand, and then we have primers here, and those primers they are attached and they prime, and a new DNA strand is produced. So if this is a one is going to produce two, and two is going to produce four, and then here likewise this reaction is multiplied. So this is a very useful technique. Here important steps, the first denaturation, then in next step we drop the temperature, and then the primer is going to anneal, and that we call the annealing temperature, and then comes the extension, and extension is 60 to 70 degrees Celsius depending upon the enzyme you are going to use. So then this is repeated in cycles, like 30 or 40 cycles they are repeated, uh, and then at the end we get the desired fragment in a huge quantity. Primarily, the sources of these, the primarily use this uh, enzyme in the PCR is the Taq polymerase, and the source is Thermus aquaticus. So normally, most of the enzymes which are then named or their nomenclature is based on the source of the bacteria from which we are getting those enzymes, whether they are restriction or they are polymerase enzymes or they are ligate enzymes. So they are dependent on the name of the bacteria from which we are getting. So name of the uh, enzyme is based on the name of the, for example, in this case we say the Taq polymerase. Now here is the cycle, exponential increase, 1 into 2, then 2 into 4, and then here finally at 30 cycle you can get million of copies of those uh, genes, those DNA fragments. So this is just like exponential increase in these days we have in case of COVID-19, a pandemic, and that is also have this sort of exponential increase. Okay, another important technique used is the in situ hybridization. So with the help of the in situ hybridization, we are able to identify a DNA with the help of the probe in a given cell on the given position in the chromosome or in the cell in the nucleus. Now, another important technique that is called the DNA footprinting can be used to determine which DNA sequence are bound by the binding proteins or where there is methylation or where there is no methylation. So in this case we use the phosphorus 32, and phosphorus 32 will eliminate the rays, and we'll be able to identify whether they are transcribed or not in the machine, and the part which is basically protected by the methylation or with the help of the protein that won't be will be having any sequence, and eventually you can see here in this red box there is some part which is not showing band at the bottom. That means that part was basically protected, and phosphorus 32 did not give any signal on that part, and that eventually led us to conclude that this part is basically having specific methylation or protein protection. Another thing is the specific mutagenesis, because the specific mutagenesis they can help us to identify whether the given change in the sequence or single nucleotide will affect the protein type or classification of the protein or the functioning of the protein or not. So simply you have a vector in a recombinant plasma DNA is having your specific gene, and then you cut it with the short sequence of the nucleotide is cut, and then that cut part is ligated in between them another uh, single base pair, and that single, after addition of single base pair, we insert it again into the vector, and then we express its protein and see the results. So this is basically inside directed mutagenesis. So basically here you see between T, you can see the A, basically A is located between T and G, and we replace this A with C and G. So one nucleotide is changed, and we are going to assess how this change is going to affect. Again, this is ligated to the vector, and we are going to assess whether the protein is changed or not, or if it is changed, then it is to what extent it is changed. The same experiment is elaborated over here. You can see the another way is to do it with the help of the PCR machine. Just you change one base pair. For example, in this case, C is changed, and it will mismatch, and then again you clone with the new fragment having the C, and then see its results. Thank you very much.